Hello, fellow Guardians and Destiny fans, and welcome to EER, Exotic Equipment Review. This series will be going over the many exotics I've collected in the game itself, such as weapons and armor. Each one of these videos will go into each one. For this video, we're going to be focusing on the Suros Regime. A very fun auto rifle for myself. First up is the damage output, and that is the kinetic damage. Very basic, nothing fancy, no elements such as arc, solar, or void. So, if you're planning on using this weapon for any damage bonuses in Nightfall, think again. Now, the next set of upgrade, or the very first upgrade I should say, is the Field Choke, which basically improves the range and accuracy. This one is already selected as the default in the beginning, so it's really, you don't have to select it all. There are two other options in this field though. And the next option is the linear capacitor. Capacitor. I had it right the first time. Anyway, basically gives us a little bit more stability to our weapon. Does subtract a little on the range. Does have some impact increase, which is nice. If you're all about stability, a good upgrade to have. Now, the next one on this list is the Smart Drift Control, which basically just sacrifices a little impact and a lot of range for complete stability. Not a bad option if you go that route, but this weapon already has a large amount of stability to begin with, so it's a little pointless at the time. The next part of this is the second upgrade, and that's Focused Fire. Basically, when you're aiming down the sights of this weapon, it fires slower. If you're aiming from the hips, it will fire faster. Does that mean? Well, it basically just, while shooting down the sights slowly, it just gives a damage increase. Here's an example video of how that works. When aiming from the hip, not as much damage. When aiming down the sights, a lot more damage. But it does fire slower. Now, the next upgrade on the list is nothing more than a damage bonus, which upgrades the weapon's damage capacity. Up next is the fourth line of upgrades. And the first one on that list is the high caliber rounds. Basically, they could penetrate targets and cause them to stagger. One of my favorite upgrades for this gun, quite handy, especially since by staggering target on a PvE mission can be very useful, and for making it harder for other guardians to kill you on PvP. Really useful thing, especially if you start shooting first before he gets his shots off. Now, the X upgrade is the Hammer Forge, which basically just improves the range, sacrifices a little bit of the impact, but you do get also an accuracy bonus. If you're not really big on impact or the stagger rounds, and you really prefer accuracy and range, this is the upgrade for you. Now, the next upgrade, which is the final in this tier, is the Lightweight, which basically just, when you're holding this gun, makes your character faster. So if you're a speedy warlock or hunter, you can go even faster. If you have a slow titan, this can help a lot too, especially if you sacrifice a lot your speed for armor. Now, the next upgrade is the unique upgrade for this weapon, and that's the Suros Regime upgrade. Basically, when half your clip is gone, you get a damage bonus, but not just that, you also have a chance to return health to yourself. Now, that's a very good. Now, that's the unique skill of this exotic. Every exotic has about one unique skill to itself, and that's this one. Now, I do have an example video of how this works, and I'll play it right now so we can get an idea of what I'm talking about. As you see me fighting these vandals and taking damage from them, I have my clip already down the path under 25. As you can see, my health instantly recharged really quick. Very useful, as you can see. A good idea to do in PvP is to reduce the clip to about 25 bullets before you meet up with another guardian. It can give you a big edge in a fight. For PvE, it's not really big importance. As you can see, if you're fighting multiple targets in PvE, since most vandals and other enemies will pretty much take you down, not a big deal. Anyway, for the last four upgrades, they're just damage, which upgrades the weapon to its max damage output, which is 331. Pretty much the max damage for any weapon in Destiny. Well, that is it for the Suros Regime. I hope this exotic auto rifle is for you. Please note that all exotic weapons, no matter which side they're on, whether it's weapons or armor, you're only allowed to equip one. at a time at each side. That means you're only allowed one exotic weapon equipped at any time and one exotic armor piece. Alright. Well, have a good time, everyone. I hope this was informative, and I will be back with more.